Welcome to this Jet Worldwide presentation, Understanding Import Fees to Canada. Import fees to Canada are commonly misunderstood. This is especially true for shipments from the US. This presentation explains what fees you can expect and how you may be able to benefit from duty-free import. An accompanying PDF of this presentation with the reference links is available on our website or in the description below. First up, we're going to cover import duty. Canada's duty calculation uses the same global principles of tariff classification or HS code, country of origin, and value. The accompanying PDF includes links to each of these subjects. For most commodities, the tariff classification and country of origin determine the percentage to apply to the value for duty. Here's a simple example. Say you're importing a set of cotton pajamas worth $120. This item is subject to a 17% duty, so 17% of $120 equals $20.40. Pretty straightforward, but keep on listening as there may be a way to import these pajamas duty-free. The default rate that applies to most imports is the Most Favored Nation or MFN tariff. There's also a section for a lower preferential tariff. This section refers to goods originating from a country that has a free trade agreement with Canada. The list is extensive. It includes the US and Mexico via CUSMA, European Union countries, the United Kingdom, 10 Asia-Pacific or CPTPP countries, and so on and so on. In fact, Canada has free trade agreements with virtually all major economies, with two notable exceptions being China and India. With decades of free trade and huge trade volume between the US and Canada, a common misperception is that all shipments from the US import duty-free to Canada. This is only true for goods that qualify as originating under the CUSMA rules of origin. For example, goods shipping from the US that were originally sourced from China would not qualify as originating. However, shipping from the USA can offer advantages which we'll discuss later. Generally speaking, free trade agreements have what is known as rules of origin that establish how goods can qualify as originating and thus qualify for duty-free import. The accompanying PDF includes a link of our review of Canada's free trade agreements. A little side note, if you find this presentation helpful or useful, please give it a like. We appreciate your feedback. Now let's talk about duty-free import to Canada. There are several ways to import duty-free to Canada. The first, and this is going to seem really obvious, but check out the tariff schedule. You may be surprised to learn that the default rate, the MFN rate, is 0%. And there are some categories like electronics and children's clothing, for example, that import duty-free. And other times, the duty may not be that oppressive. It may be a low duty rate that's not really worth even bothering with. So always check the tariff first. Secondly, take advantage of one of Canada's many free trade agreements that we just mentioned. The modern agreements have simplified processes and easier certification statements to facilitate duty-free import to Canada. Another way, especially for e-commerce shipments from the US and Mexico, is the low-value duty-free threshold. Packages shipping from the US and Mexico via courier benefit from a higher duty-free threshold of $150. Otherwise, it's only $20. In addition, personal gifts from anywhere, up to $60, can benefit from duty-free import. And there are some additional duty-free categories, including personal effects and temporary imports. These have specific processes necessary to get a zero duty rating. Sales tax. Canada has both a national and provincial sales tax. The national tax, GST, is 5%. Adding in the provincial tax, the total sales tax averages over 14% if you're shipping to Quebec, 13% to Canada's most populous province of Ontario, and 12% for consignments to British Columbia. One note on tax is that it's calculated on the value of the goods plus duty. Customs entry fee. For freight shipments, the customs brokerage fee averages between $100 and $200. Packages importing via the post or via air courier generally do not charge an entry preparation fee for standard entries. However, parcels arriving via FedEx or UPS ground are subject to an entry preparation fee that escalates with the value. This is probably the biggest source of discontent amongst shippers from the US and their Canadian consignees. Many who rightfully choose low-cost ground are often unaware that the entry preparation is not included. The entry preparation costs for UPS and FedEx ground, they link from our website. While they can be substantial, the ground shipping can still be the best shipping option. Carrier disbursement fee. This is another area of discontent when it comes to import fees to Canada. Even if duty-free, the consignments are subject to tax, and if they're subject to tax, then they're subject to this additional carrier disbursement fee. It's common amongst all carriers, no matter who you import with. The average is between 2 and 3% of the amount of duty and taxes. And for parcel imports, what it usually means, a minimum usually applies, between $10 and $15. And the charge can be referred to in different names, the disbursement fee, handling fee, or administrative surcharge. Ocean import fees. Before closing, a quick mention on import fees for ocean imports, such as port fees, warehousing, and inland transit. These are specific to shipping terms and carrier contracts, and in general, well understood by commercial importers. And there you have it, understanding import fees to Canada. We hope this information helps you access the Canadian market. Contact our team to build durable shipping solutions to Canada, across North America, and globally. Jet Worldwide, connecting people, products, and businesses around the world for over 40 years.